Hello, this is Andre Stevenson, Director of International Programs at Elizabeth City State University in North Carolina. Let me be very clear by saying that before Miss Elisa Jackson arrived, there was no such thing as study abroad at Elizabeth City State University. She has been a friend of ECSU. I've been at ECSU for 2 years, and within that time, we have had 3 students study abroad, 5 students apply for the Frederick Douglass Scholarship, and we have 11 students on tap to study abroad through CIEE this summer. All because of Miss Elisa Jackson, period. There is no question about it. Thank you for everything. I don't know what the hell we're gonna do without you. But I know you will return as soon as this is over. Thank you so much. God bless.
Mayra is a remarkable woman, una mujer fuerte. As the Director of Education Abroad at California State University San Bernardino, a minority and Hispanic serving institution, I am poignantly aware of the need for people like Mayra to connect with students on a professional and personal level. We absolutely need more people like Mayra in this field. Muchísimas gracias, Mayra.
This message is for Mayra, Alyssa, and especially my dear Kendall, our dear Kendall at Howard, who has been such a delight and joy to work with, who from the start hit the ground running and really changed the way that we do study abroad and interact with our partners at Howard. Kendall, you really launched something that I'll be using moving forward, which is just opening yourself up as a representative to come in and support with office hours and the advising process. And that's just something that is a big act, because I know how busy you and your colleagues are moving about the world and supporting so many different schools, but for you to have offered that as an added bonus to our work together has changed the game. And I want to recognize that to start, how grateful I am for you as a colleague who would do that, but then also the joy that you would bring into the office when you did come for those advising sessions, and just added to our staff in that way, into the office culture in that way. You'll be missed. You'll all be missed. I mean, CIEE, whew, bless its heart, because it's really going to be interesting to see how an institution, or MSIs overall, will continue to engage with the organization, knowing that a major chunk of the work that we all appreciated, that reflected the values of this MSI team, and how it interacts with students of color, Black students, let's just put it out there, Black students at HBCUs. With you all now no longer there, and Stacy left to hold it down for the whole world, things are going to be set back a bit. And so yeah, just understand that the work that you did was important, and I'm confident that because you've made such a strong commitment and a strong impact during the time that you were with us, that you'll be able to find something else meaningful in the future very soon. So as mentioned, if there's anything I can do to be of support as you move forward in your journey, I got you. So this is a closing of chapter and an opening of a new chapter, but definitely not the end. So wishing you well, and Stacy, I got you too. So come on, let's just keep this thing going to the best that we can, and we'll see how everything moves forward, but I'm hopeful. All right, take care. Bye.
Hi, this is Ronise from North Carolina A&T State University. I just wanted to give a quick word of encouragement to my girl Elisa. You have been monumental to me and to the Office of International Affairs and to my students at NCA&T. You have been my rock, and I appreciate you for seeing things in me that I didn't see in myself, for encouraging me to present with you. You have been so awesome and so amazing, and I have no doubt that wherever life takes you, you are going to excel. You are extremely intelligent. You are extremely talented, and whatever you do and wherever life takes you, whatever you put your mind to, I know that you're going to do exceedingly abundantly above all you could ask or even think. So I thank you for being a part of my life. You are my friend, and I hope you and I will continue to stay in contact with each other. I can't say it enough. I appreciate you and all that you've done for me and for North Carolina A&T and for my students. And if you ever need anything, know that I'm here for you.
Elisa, it has been a blessing to know you, to work with you, and it all started at Loyola. I just want to say thank you for everything you've done, how you poured into me, how you've been a mentor, and it's been great to know you once as a student who studied abroad at Loyola, and now as a colleague who's worked with you in many different ways to help other students study abroad. You have been a true inspiration to me, and I know you're going to continue to let your light shine through in your new pursuits, and I just wish you nothing but blessings, because you have been a blessing to myself and others in so many ways, and our students, and I wish you nothing but all that the world has for you, the positive and all the joy. You take care, and we're going to miss you.
Hello, my name is Crystal Lopez, and I'm from Elizabeth City State University. I just wanted to take a minute out of my day to give my thanks to Miss Elisa Jackson, who I heard is no longer going to be part of CIEE staff. I just wanted to thank you for being a very big help and a very big resource to me in my goal to study abroad. You not only came to our campus to talk to us about it, but you would take time out of your own busy schedule to answer our emails about any questions or tips or just help with our application. You were one of the biggest resources for me during this time, and I honestly don't think I would have been able to apply and get accepted if it wasn't for your help. I just wanted to give you a very big thanks, and it's sad to see you go, but I just want you to stay safe during this time. Have a good day.
Hello, my name is Quantarius Whitted. I am a senior at North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University, and in spring of 2019, I was fortunate enough to study abroad in London, and what I learned most from my time being over there was being open-minded, being an open-minded person. I went over there, didn't know anything really about the culture, about the people. I didn't know any of the kids who were on the trip with me, and so really getting to know their cultures of other Americans as well as Londoners and people who travel to London. Wow, it was a great experience. I had a great time.
We got that. Okay, let's do this. Fucking sick of doing this. This is my fucking 75th video. Okay. Hi everybody, my name is Shanice and I'm a junior at Morgan State University, and I studied abroad with CIEE in the spring of 2019 in Madrid, Spain. I feel like if I tried my hardest to describe my study abroad experience, the closest I could get would be life-changing. As a study abroad alum, I've taken on the responsibility of introducing the idea of studying abroad to people that look like me. I feel like diversifying the study abroad experience gives an opportunity for everybody involved to grow and learn things that they can take back to their own communities. As a diversifying factor in my own study abroad experience, I definitely learned that my voice mattered in all spaces. I also learned that it was echoed in spaces where there might not be a lot of people that look like me. Studying abroad in Europe while Black definitely had its ups and downs, but one of the unchanging factors from my first day to my last 3 months later was the support I received from CIEE, and this is definitely one of the factors I lead with when telling people that look like me why they should study abroad with CIEE, so thank you.
Hi, my name is Jessica Jones. I had the chance to study abroad in Monteverde, Costa Rica through CIEE. It was and continues to be one of the most defining times of my life, and I really saw myself blossom, not only in my knowledge and education of environmental science, which is what I was studying, but also in my personhood, and I came to confront aspects of my identity in a manner which I never have before, whether my identity as a woman, as a student, as an American, and essentially as well as a Black American and just a Black person. I also believe, I know for a fact, that my presence illuminated other students on the trip as well to the experience that us Black people go through, whether it's at home or abroad. I was one of a few other students of color on this trip, of around 14 people, and together we were able to show our own experience. It was interesting to note in some cases that the greater culture shock was not that of the Costa Ricans who I was staying with, but rather with my fellow Americans who were white. And while I've always had friends who were white, I've rarely been in an experience where I was the one of a few people of color and representative, in a sense, of my group. We had a lot of thoughtful, engaging dialogue, not to sound too academic, but really powerful conversations came through, and I know that I learned so much, and I know that others around me learned so much, whether they were Costa Ricans or the other students that I was studying with, and the opportunity to have that was fantastic, as well as to bring that home and to introduce it to my own community here in Atlanta. I know that I've actually inspired many other Black students' desire and passion to travel, and I've been fortunate enough and worked hard enough to get in a position where I can serve as representation, as proof that it is possible. And I know that in recent times with the coronavirus, all of us have had to make some important sacrifices and decisions. When I heard that CIEE was letting go of its diversities team, I was hurt, because I know that my presence on that trip was so necessary, and it goes beyond me. It goes into everything. It goes into perspectives and relations on a community level, whether it's a local community or a global community. Things are as they are. Decisions have been made. I would love to say a huge, warm, loving thank you to the diversity team at CIEE, and I wish every single one of y'all luck in your journey. CIEE, I think you've made a mistake. I think you've made a big mistake. Us students of color, or of any other diverse background, we even had genderqueer students, well, a genderqueer student on that trip, and we had some representatives from like sexual minorities as well, whether they were gay or lesbian, and these experiences need to reach as many students as possible. Otherwise, without us on that trip, it would have been a very different experience. Even though I obviously wouldn't be there to know, I know in my heart of hearts it would have been a very difficult experience, different experience. And I think that the opportunities that diversity brings to everyone are invaluable, absolutely invaluable. Just as invaluable as an international experience. Because when you're with one of the students, we are the us. Or my group of, was it 13, 14, we were the tribe. That tribe needs to be as colorful and beautiful and open as possible. Otherwise, you're just gonna have the same old same. Thank you for listening and watching this video.
Hello, my name is Ariana Stewart. I attend the illustrious North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. I'm a marketing student and I got the opportunity to study abroad in Ghana, West Africa.
How did I benefit from my experience abroad? I learned how to communicate, and I don't mean in a new language saying etisane, medase. Myself, I've always had a problem with being a good listener. And when I was in Ghana, I was so opinionated and I always had something to say, and just being in an environment where they listen to each other and it's all about community, I learned a new form of communication, and that was a big deal for me. I also learned to look at life differently. Life has always been very stressful for me. It's always been work. I never saw life as enjoyable. I never saw any peace in living from day to day. And when I was in Ghana, I experienced a new type of peace, a peace that I have brought with myself to the States. And so I remember one night I was walking past a market and I thought it was empty in a group, and there were people sleeping in the places where they work. And you would have never known that they would sleep there and bathe there because they were so grateful. And I remember my auntie saying, it's a new day, it's a new breath of life. I began to feel a new kind of peace, seeing day as breath, as life. I also learned a lot of history. I
learned about the Asante region, which consisted of majority of Ghana, majority of Togo, and kings covered in gold. They ruled the land and they cared for their people. And I learned about the slave castles and the slave dungeons, how horrific they were. I learned about the last bath, what it actually was. I didn't know the last baths were the last baths slaves would take before they were shipped to the Americas, to the Caribbeans. And
furthermore, I learned how to make the best out of every situation. I realized this is my first time out of the country, and I realized that everything can't be handed to you, and everything you can't get upset about if it doesn't work out your way. I remember washing my clothes outside and hanging them up because the actual washing to get your clothes washed was very expensive, and I remember having to walk to get my food and acquiring new foods and new tastes that I wasn't familiar with. It is prominent for students of diverse backgrounds to study abroad because they have to know that there is learning to be done outside of their border. There's a broader world out there, and it will expand your mind. It will expand how you do things, how your thoughts run, how do you think of things. It will change that. And when people see me and how I react to things and the change that has happened from me being at A&T, from going to Ghana to coming back, they're like, I want what you have. But I've just learned more and I've expanded my mindset, and I think that's important for more individuals of diverse backgrounds to have that. The highlight of my experience abroad was definitely dancing at the Ghana National Theater and performing there with a solo part. Being there, I felt like I made a mark. Also, highlight of my experience, definitely the food.
I enjoyed banku, kontumare, fufu, jollof, wache, kelewele, all of those things, and I had the best experience of my life.
How did you benefit from your experience abroad? Main answer, knowledge. I got so much knowledge about culture itself, knowledge about myself, knowledge about psychology, which was the class I take, which is what I'm interested in pursuing further, knowledge about art in the most beautiful place ever. Just so much new knowledge that I won't ever take for granted.
Hi, my name is Erica Echampomo from Elizabeth City State University. I am so sad to hear Miss Alicia Jackson being gone, but I do really want to say thank you so much for coming to Elizabeth City State University to give us a talk about CIEE. Through you, I get to learn a lot of things, and I'm so looking forward for all these to be over so I can enjoy my study abroad. Thank you so much once again. I appreciate it. I hope you stay safe. Bye.
Hello, my name is Gail Streeter, and I go to North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University, and this spring 2020 semester, I studied abroad in Barcelona, Spain. What I learned from studying abroad is to value your time. Spend your time wisely. This is a great lesson that I learned. That's because you never know how long you'll be somewhere, and you want to take advantage of every opportunity while you have the time. Unfortunately, sometimes things happen and you won't be able to do the things that you wanted to do. That's why it's important to do it now, but be wise in that decision. I benefited from my experience abroad in many ways, but I'll touch on 3. The first one is that I met a lot of people. I met people from Germany, Indonesia, Spain, India, Argentina, Venezuela, Brazil, Australia, France, and of course other places from the United States. The second is that I became more independent. I created a budget for myself, I spent my money wisely, I kept my receipts, and I spent my money the way I wanted to spend it. I also traveled to other countries with my friends, did things by ourselves, traveled to cities, to other countries by ourselves. Also, I did small steps that helped to build courage and that also helped to build more confidence and independence, like joining a gym. Also, paying my phone bill. The third thing is that I was able to expand my cultural understanding. For example, I volunteered at a local school and I was able to talk to local students. In addition to practicing English with them, I was able to talk to them about Spanish culture and about American culture and basically have a cultural exchange. It was nice to talk to them about African American culture and learn more about their culture, in addition to learning more from my host mom. I learned a little bit of Catalan, but I'm not that good. And it was really cool to talk more to her and to help her get a better understanding of what it's like to be a minority in the United States.
Hi, my name is Crystal, and I'm a student at Howard University, and I studied abroad in Palma de Mallorca, Spain. My biggest benefit from studying abroad would be definitely learning about myself and learning about the things that I value. Though I was only in Spain for a month around that due to the coronavirus, I learned a lot about the different values of different cultures, and while learning about different cultures and the different values that they have, I learned more about my values and my identity, and I knew that I learned a lot from that because it was very different than what I was used to in the United States. And I feel like that made me more of like a global learner and more open to experiencing the world in different places, because if I look back like a year ago, I did not know anything else about other cultures. So I definitely learned a lot even in my short time there. I would advise, or I would want more students of diverse backgrounds to study abroad, because I definitely learned a lot about different cultures and got more of a world view that I would not have gotten in the United States. Like nothing even compares to even spending 1 week abroad. And so this is an experience that I don't think you can get anywhere else, and doing it in college is like the best time because it's structured and there's less planning that you would need to do, more planning of other people, and it's a big learning experience all in itself, and you're never going to have an opportunity like that again. I think the biggest highlight of my study abroad experience would be the people that I met that lived in Spain, because I learned so much of their lives and just things that they go through, or things that they experience that are similar and different from the things that I've experienced. And since I did learn those things, I now have a broader view of people and have more acceptance and understanding of where people come from. And I feel like I wouldn't have had that in the United States or if I didn't study abroad.
Hi there, my name is Paul Dion and I am a student and the SGA president at Miami-Dade College, Homestead campus. During the summer of 2019, I studied abroad in London, England for 4 weeks, and this experience changed my life. Thinking on the precious memories I made while there can easily drive me to tears. One of the highlights of my experience was definitely forming the bond and making the memories I did with the people I met. Almost a year later, I still talk to some of the people I met out there. Getting to study abroad gave me a chance to grow, broaden my horizons, and become more culturally literate. It also helped me grow mentally, socially, and academically. As a result of this growth, I now have more of a globalistic mindset, which causes me to be highly interested in the ways we are connected on a global scale rather than just a national one. Now, I am highly considering studying international law when I go to law school. That is how much that study abroad experience impacted my life. The things I learned on that trip has, in part, helped determine my success as a future professional, and all the memories made will be cherished all throughout my professional career. As a student of color, I never even imagined I would get to experience something like this. I think it's important that students of diverse backgrounds study abroad because students of all races, creeds, and ethnicities are the future leaders.
Hello, my name is Jemiah Robinson. I am a junior at Dillard University and I studied abroad the spring semester of 2019 through the CIEE Open Campus program in Cape Town, South Africa. One of the biggest things that it taught me too is that I do belong in spaces like a study abroad program. Now, my university didn't have a study abroad office, we didn't have a study abroad program, and I was one of the first people to really kind of pursue a study abroad program without the assistance of like a study abroad counselor at my institution. So it was really difficult for me to navigate because I had never been out the country before. I didn't know a lot of people. I didn't really know what to do. But thankfully, due to the assistance of my CIEE counselor who really walked me through like the visa and everything, I was able to attend. I was able to get the funding and everything. So when I got there, it was quite an adjustment because there wasn't that many black people in the program. And here I am, just this like sophomore. I'm the youngest person in the program, and I'm just like, okay, this is great. And just getting really confident in myself, finding confidence to kind of, interact during like social events, and kind of interacting with students that I never met before was something that was difficult for me in the beginning. But thankfully, I found my community. I found individuals who were willing to support me and kind of listen to me and kind of make me feel confident in myself and my abilities, and just let me know that, I belong in this space, which is something that a lot of black students don't feel like they do. They just don't really see themselves studying abroad. They don't really see themselves pursuing things outside of the box when that opportunity isn't available for them at their institution. And one of the biggest things for me, which inspired me to study abroad in the first place, was the Frederick Douglass Fellowship. So I applied for the Frederick Douglass Fellowship. I didn't get it, but it was just the fact that it was an opportunity available for me to study abroad that made me want to continue to apply for study abroad programs. So it's just like when I had that little opportunity, even though I didn't get it, it just really projected me to go explore all kinds of different, applications and programs out there, because if there's one like this, there's probably a bunch of opportunities to support African American students or students of color to go pursue, a study abroad program in the first place. So studying abroad was something I had dreamed of, but it's like the dream died once I realized I didn't have a study abroad office at my institution. But then it came back alive once I applied for the Frederick Douglass Fellowship. So just for me, that's kind of the biggest thing about studying abroad for students of color or black students or anyone, is that it teaches you what you're capable of. Because if you can survive here all the way across 16 oceans and 20 hours on a flight away, then it's like, you can literally do anything. You can be the president, you can do almost anything.
Hello, my name is Zoe Parker. I'm a junior biology major from Howard University in Washington, D.C. And so I think it's important for Black Americans especially to travel to African countries and to other countries even, to be able to tell our own stories and talk about, our experiences and what we have been through and how we've succeeded, nevertheless, through all the barriers that we face in American society. And so being in Ghana was a really great opportunity for me to be able to express to people, what it's like to be a Black woman in America. And a lot of people, believe it or not, have no idea about those experiences, because who's going to tell the story if we don't tell it ourselves? So, also, I think it was very interesting, at least for me, it was inspiring. It's inspiring to see a society like Ghana, because being a Black American, you rarely ever see Black people operating in every facet of society. And in Ghana, I got to see that. I got to see Black people helping each other, teaching each other, supporting each other, and actually treating each other like family. And that's something that I don't get to see very often. So for me, that was really inspiring to me, to see Black people actually treating each other like family and helping each other and supporting each other. And when I was there, a lot of them embraced me as family to them, and that feeling was indescribable.